Ever scratched your head wondering why professional athletes make their game look like child's play? How on earth do they manage to perform intricate movements with a level of precision and grace that would make a ballet dancer envious? The answer is wrapped up in an intriguing concept called motor learning. Now you might be wondering, what is this motor learning? Well, let me break it down for you. Motor learning, to be frank, is all about learning to move. It's the nitty-gritty process of enhancing our motor skills through practice and then holding on to these improvements like treasure over time. Think about the first time you wobbled on a bike or swung a golf club only to have the ball laugh at your attempt. Undeniably, you were more like Bambi on ice, and your swings could have been mistaken for interpretive dance. But with time, practice, and a few bruises and ego dents, you got better. That, my friend, is motor learning doing its thing. But let's not confine motor learning to just sports or complex activities. It's all around us in our day-to-day tasks. Remember the first time you tried to tie your shoelaces and ended up with a knot that would make a sailor proud? Or the time you learned to ride a bike without training wheels and felt like you were ready for the Tour de France? Yes, even these daily life activities are examples of motor learning. And for those of us who can walk down the street without tripping over our own feet, let's have a round of applause. Because, believe it or not, even this ordinary act of walking is a testament to motor learning. It might not seem like much, but in the grand scheme of things, not falling flat on our face is a daily victory brought to us by motor learning. So let's take a moment to appreciate it. Now imagine a rookie tennis player. The first time they picked up a racket, it was less of Wimbledon and more like a comedy of errors. They might have had more luck juggling oranges than hitting a fuzzy green ball. Picture them swinging their racket with all their might, only to watch the ball plop right into the net. Or better yet, missing the ball entirely and spinning themselves around in the process. These moments, while hilariously tragic, are all part of the journey. Each comical misstep is a lesson in disguise. When they first swing the racket, they're learning about the amount of force needed to hit the ball just right. Too much, and the ball ends up in the parking lot. Too little, and it's an express ticket to the net. This understanding of force is a basic element of motor learning. Then comes judging the ball's trajectory. It might seem like they're playing a guessing game. Will the ball end up in the sky or in the front row? But each time they miscalculate, their brain is busy learning and storing information about angles and speed. It's all part of the delicate dance of motor learning. Next, think about how they position themselves on the court. At first, they may appear to be doing a frantic chicken dance, running helter-skelter. But with time and experience, they discover the sweet spots on the court, and the wild chicken dance transforms into a graceful ballet. That's motor learning, understanding space, timing, and coordination. Motor learning isn't just about practice, it's also influenced by various factors, particularly during childhood and adolescence. From physical growth and development to environmental influences and social aspects, several factors shape a person's motor abilities. So, the rookie tennis player we're laughing with now, with their clumsy swings and chaotic court runs, is on their way to becoming a pro, one hilarious mistake at a time. In a nutshell, motor learning, the main character of our story today, is not just about repeating basketball shots or practicing bicycle kicks. It's a far-reaching saga of learning and improving motor skills through relentless practice and retention. It's the invisible superhero in every aspect of sports and our daily hustle and bustle. You see, it's a complicated drama influenced by a mix of factors, including but not limited to our physical growth, the environment around us, and those ever-present social influences. Yes, your mom's nagging counts. Think about this. Remember when you were a toddler learning to walk? You wobbled, you fell, you got up, and then you fell again. But each time, motor learning was there, invisibly holding your tiny hand, helping you find your balance, and eventually teaching you to move forward. Likewise, remember your first driving lesson as a teenager? Your hands were shaking on the steering wheel. You nearly hit the neighbor's cat, and you probably gave your dad a few more gray hairs. But again, thanks to motor learning, you gradually learned to control the accelerator and brake, and now you're cruising down the highway most of the time. Understanding motor learning makes us appreciate not only the blood, sweat, and tears that athletes pour into their craft, but also our own learning processes. Even though we're not all destined to be sporting superstars. Let's face it, some of us can barely run for the bus. We can all improve our motor skills in sports and in other areas of life. So the next time you see a professional athlete execute a perfect slam dunk or a flawless figure skating routine, remember, it's not just their God-given talent, it's years of practice, an uncountable number of repetitions, and a whole lot of motor learning. And when you're attempting to master a new skill, don't feel let down if you're not perfect right off the bat. Remember, even the greatest athletes started from scratch. With time, practice, and a dash of patience, you too can conquer the mountain of motor learning and emerge victorious in your chosen skill. Just keep at it. And who knows, maybe someday you might become the next big thing in your chosen field. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go practice my cartwheels. After all, even Olympic gymnasts still make mistakes, right? They just do it with more style.